Shalom, family. It's good to see you all here today. Y'all like my AI lion? I made this lion in Mid-Journey. It's an AI lion. So I'm glad to see you all here. And we're just going to go over a story that came out recently. And I'm going to show you also video footage of a clash that took place between our Hebrew brothers that were out on the streets and Palestinians. And to me, this pretty much confirms why we need to stay out of this whole thing. And it confirms that it doesn't matter which side it is, they all have disdain for us. And we know, many of us know this from Palestinians having stores in the Black community, and they don't even like their own customers. They just love the money that it brings being in these different communities around the country. So, and it will show you how once they cross the ocean and come here, they act like any other white supremacists that you see in America. They are no different. They really not. I was looking at many of the videos online that's being posted on both sides, and I'm not feeling either one of them. I'm not. Maybe if we had better relationships over the years, I would feel differently, but we haven't. It has not been good with either group for us. I'm not talking about on an individual level. Yeah, you might have a friend here and there that are okay, but as a whole, it has not been good. And let's face it, you are not going to be judged by the Most High as an individual. You're going to be judged as a group. And if your group has not done well over these past centuries, then you should know it's not going to be a good ending for you. That individual stuff came out of chattel slavery, where individuals, you're a group, that comes from chattel slavery. And when did the Most High tell you to be an individual? So you being an individual is not of the Most High at all. So that's what it tells me. It tells me where you are spiritually. So that being said, y'all, let's get into what has happened. All right. Let me see if I can get this. Okay, before I really get into that, let me just explain, because it's better if I explain what you are looking at. All right. There have been protests going on all over the country since everything has broken out on Gaza. The protests have been ramping up everywhere. You see it coming out of New York. It's really coming out all over. It's just that some protests are bigger than others. So, of course, you got the Israelis here in America. They're going to be for their people. The Palestinians that are here are going to be for their people. But some of the way these folks are carrying on out in the streets, you would think the war was taking place right here in America. It is really getting that over the top in the streets, and it's going on everywhere. I saw this morning a video where the Senate was in session, and a group of pro-Palestinians went and disrupted the meeting up on Capitol Hill that the Senate was having. And there's a lot of divisions going on in politics. I was looking at an article where Mitch McConnell wants to continue aid to Ukraine, and many in the GOP in the Senate don't want to do that. They want all of the aid to go to Israel, and they don't want to give any more aid to Ukraine because it's been an astronomical amount of military equipment and aid going to Ukraine, and they just simply don't want that. They don't want it. And it is presenting a big problem. It really is. Okay. All right. So this happened in Chicago, and they said there were approximately 5,000 Palestinians out there demonstrating in Chicago, y'all. So this happened on the 29th. And, these are people that are pro Palestinian. They marched in Chicago. This happened Saturday afternoon. And the Hebrew Israelite brothers were out there, and they did not start this physical clash. This started from those that were pro Palestinians out there. And what they started doing, because I don't like the way they write these stories because, there is a lot of bias against the Hebrew Israelites. And of course, the people that write the story are extremely biased. So they'll write it in a way where, oh, it was equal. They were throwing at no, no, one side had to start it, and it was the pro Palestinian side that started hurling sticks and bottles and everything at the Hebrew brothers. And of course, those brothers threw things right back at them, but they absolutely didn't get the whole thing jumped off. Now, you're going to also hear the sounds of firecrackers. Those Palestinians are also throwing firecrackers at these brothers too. And you'll see that in the video. All right. So let me go ahead and play this so you can see exactly what happened. I'm going to go full screen on this one. Okay. So as you can see, you did see things being thrown back and forth, but these brothers didn't start that mess. Yes, they were throwing firecrackers. So it was sticks, bottles, firecrackers, and you see the police, they couldn't even get these folks under control. But they said there were they said the estimation on the Palestinians about 5,000 on the street. And you see it was really not that many Hebrew brothers on the street at all. They just happened to be downtown in that same area. But I don't know, y'all. When you look at that, do you want to join these people and side with them? Do you really want to do that? You know, I mean, you can't say you want us to take a side and both sides treat us bad. That doesn't even make any sense. Not to mention that's not even human. That's not human nature for you to jump on the side of people that have disdain for you. And it's very obvious. Many of these Palestinians that live right here in America, they have that disdain. They really do. So, you know, No. You can't ask us to pray when your conduct is like this towards us. Pray? Are you out of your mind? And another thing I noticed over the past couple of weeks now, how every time these folks come on TV, they keep referencing BLM. And I see it's still heavily, oh, we are suffering, we are being killed. BLM, why don't they what the hell does BLM got to do with what's going on in Gaza? But every time you pick up an article, if they get to one of these people, BLM, what does BLM got to do with what's happening? And whether you want us on your side or not, what does that got to do with what's happening there? We didn't get the fighting jumped off. We didn't antagonize it. We didn't get it going. So why are we being referenced so much? Why are we being browbeat to give you some, I guess you want some comfort in what you're doing? We don't have to do that. You don't comfort us when we're feeling down. What the hell do we have to do that for you for? These people are really out of their minds. Yeah, I mean, I was looking at a video that some woman posted this morning. Show this, like BLM, like you did for BLM. Show that towards us because, just like you. I was like, what the hell is going on with these people? You know, It's funny because in one instance, when we talk about everything that we have gone through and faced, they try to downplay it when it comes from us. But whenever they are going through some kind of plight, all of a sudden they're referencing Black people, MLK, BLM. Oh, well, I thought you said what we go through wasn't all that bad. It can't be both. These folks are some serious fence riders. So whenever you want sympathy from the public, you reference things and you trying to make it equivalent to what Black people have gone through. I mean, they have been doing that heavily, heavily in the media, heavily all over social media, all in even print, news, social media. I mean, everything is even in the print. BLM. And I was like, BLM is not over there doing anything to y'all on either side. I don't even know why y'all keep bringing that up, but they do. And I also notice in the article that I found on this, and I found the video, and this is out on X, by the way. Um, there is a slightly longer version, but I can tell you it's not really that much in it. In terms of context, you're still really getting the same context out of it, you know. But this was an article, and the video that I showed you was posted out on X, formerly known as Twitter. Yeah, but I'm not looking for these people to treat us better. I never have looked, we can't look for better treatment from a devil. I mean, we just can't. We can't. The devil is never going to treat you better. Mhm. No, y'all, you stand, like they said, stand 10 toes down and staying out of this whole thing. It's not our fight. And we have learned lessons from the past. When we join people in fights, once the fight is over, those same people go right back to treating us like crap. We have never benefited from fighting in one single war in this mug. After every single war, they went right back to oppressing you. So, no, we have learned lessons from the past. And maybe they're upset that that stuff is no longer working on us. We have evolved, we have changed, and we have learned. So the old ways of joining you and everything, we're just not feeling you. We're not feeling you, and we're not going to be tricked into it either. Those days are done. So these pro-Palestinians who are many of them Palestinians that live here in America, this is what they did when they spotted Hebrew brothers on the street. And yes, in the article it says black Hebrew Israelites. Well, we don't call ourselves black Hebrew Israelites. Okay. We don't do that. Y'all do that because you're racist. Okay. Y'all do it because you're a bunch of racists. Yeah. Yeah. But so, like I said, this solidified everything for me. And I said it before, I'll say it again. If you want to say a prayer, pray for the family in all four corners of the earth. Pray that we remain separated and get through the best that we can in these final days because we are definitely in the final days. And I want y'all also to take notice to a lot of the videos. Now, y'all remember when all of the stuff was going down with Kyrie Irving, it was tons of videos cropping up. People said they were curious. People wanted to know if what Ronald Dalton Jr. was saying that we were the real true Hebrews. People were searching and trying to find out. Well, it's a big surge of videos going up about us being the real Hebrews, and the people over in the land are not. And just start looking at the videos that are cropping up. Those videos are cropping up in droves all over social media. And it just goes to show you the Most High is making the world talk about it. That's what this conflict has done. See, it's not having the effect that they want it to have. It's not. But the effect it is making people rehash everything about who the real Hebrews are, who are the children of Shem, who are the sons and daughters on the planet of the Most High. It's coming up everywhere. I'm seeing it all over the place. And I'm amazed at how many people know what the truth is. And when I say I'm seeing these videos, it's not just us. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of Gentiles out here posting those videos and saying the same exact thing that we have been saying all along. I'm seeing an awful lot of Gentiles putting those videos up now. Oh no, we know who the real Hebrews are. We know who I'm like, wow. Yes. If you go out there, if you go on TikTok, if you go on X, if here on YouTube, you will see them videos are cropping up everywhere. And that tells me, ladies and gentlemen, there's another wave of awakening going on right now. It is happening. And the more people are chattering about what's going on, the more it's going out worldwide about who we are. It is going out worldwide. Once it goes on the internet, it is going out worldwide. Never forget that. It is. It is, y'all. If you notice, we just had the partial lunar eclipse this past Saturday. This happened on the lunar eclipse, this event that I showed you in the video. This happened on the lunar eclipse. Thank you, Lisa B, for the super sticker. You know what? I hear you, but here's what I have to say. Let me go back to that comment. Let me see if I can get to that comment. Roletti 21, you said, I'm just praying for peace. I'm not on either side. It got too much going on in the US. Yes, I agree. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not praying at all. The bottom line is it is prophesied that these Gentiles were gonna start fighting each other in these last days. And they are. We saw it actually kick off with Ukraine and Russia. That's when we first and now look at what it's turning into. And these are not going to be the only groups of Gentiles fighting back and forth. There's going to be more coming. It's going to be more Gentiles going back and forth with each other. It's happening in the streets of America. You got these Palestinians and Israelis all over the streets in America battling back and forth with each other over what's going on in Gaza. So it's happening here too. So there is no prayer that's going to stop what has been set in motion. We are at the end. All of the things that are written and that we are watching unfold must happen before this final captivity is behind us. So we still got a ways to go. We got to endure until the end. And that's exactly what we should be focused on from here on out. We must endure until the end. They got their problems, we got ours. And no defense, but when we are going through getting murdered on the streets, when we are being harmed physically on a regular basis, when our children are being harmed in these schools, none of these groups that are fighting each other come to our aid. None of them come to comfort us. Nobody comes and prays for us. Nobody comes and makes sure we're all right. So for them to come and try to demand us to be on a side is laughable to me. Yeah, I mean, we've been through more than any of these groups combined over these past centuries. And nobody ever pray for us or comfort us. If anything, they'll come around and mock us before they do any of those other things. And that's the truth. So y'all stay prayed up and stay connected with our Heavenly Father in these final days. That's all we need to do. Be ye separate. They sure will. Sankofa 130. They sure will war with each other, and there's nothing we can do about that. Even if we took a side, taking a side is not going to end the war, is it? Okay, it's not going to end anything, even if we did. So, everybody, thank you so much for being here. I really love us being around each other and just spiritually bonding with everyone. It sure feels good. Everybody, may the Most High keep his most powerful and strongest hedge of protection around you always. Shalom, family.